Hi everybody, this is Bianca and I'm going to do a quick tutorial today on using Photoshop to create a custom shape and then turning that custom shape into a border which you can use in your art journal. So I am working in Photoshop CS5 today for this walkthrough, but the steps are basically the same in the other versions of Photoshop. So you want to start off with a new document and you want your page to be longer than it is tall because we're going to need that space. So the first step is just to double click the background layer over in your layers palette to turn it into an unlocked layer. So now we're going to go over to your toolbar here and we want to select the custom shape tool from the side. And we'll make sure that you've got the shape layers option selected and not the paths or the fill pixels. And then right here we've got this pull down menu with a bunch of different shape options. You want to select a shape that's blacked in, that isn't blank on the inside, because any place that it's colored in is actually where our collage images are going to go. So I'm going to work with this 8-point star shape. So I'm going to just create my shape. When it's the size that I like, I'm going to come over and just click on the path selection tool, which is kind of like the move tool, but it moves shapes and paths. I'm going to move it all the way over to the left. And once that's done, I'm going to go back to the layers palette and I'm going to duplicate this layer. And this is just going to create an identical shape. I'm going to click on the move tool at the top. You don't need to use the path selection tool because this is a copy. And I'm going to move it out so that the tips are touching. Once that's done, I'm actually going to hide the background layer just for a second so that I can merge the two visible layers together and bring the background back. So what this has done is it's taken those two shapes and it's turned them into one shape. Then I'm going to repeat this. So I'm going to duplicate the layer and I'm going to slide it on out. This time I don't have to hide the background because it'll let me merge down, because we're no longer dealing with the original shape. One last time, duplicate the layer. Now this time obviously the layer is going to be too big. So what I do is just move it until it's lined up. There. Like that. And then we just merge it down. So now we have one long giant shape. Now, because we want this to be a border, I like to have a flat side to run along the border. So I'm going to use the crop tool for this. And I love the crop tool because it gives you a nice straight edge on the bottom. So go ahead and crop. So now this is what the border is going to look like. So at this point, we have to actually turn this into our custom shape. So we're going to go over and we're going to use the magic selection tool. Click on the white. And then we're going to do an inverse selection so that it's selected the black part. We're going to come back over here and you want to click on paths. There's a little button down here. Oops, not that one. It's a circle with two lines coming off of it. It's to make work the path from selection. We're going to use that. So click that button. And now you can see we've got this new work path that's popped up. Come over here to the edit panel. And there's an option, define custom shapes. You want to go ahead and click that. Now you can see there's your shape. And it says shape 5, which you can give it whatever name you want. And just click OK. And at this point, this shape has been saved to your shape palette. So let me just show you. Here's a blank document. I'm going to go here and click. The newest shape is always going to be last because it's the one we just created. So there it is. So that's the first part of the tutorial. In the next part, I'll show you how to collage everything together.